Let me tell you, there's nothing like a dark night to make you appreciate a bright morning. That has been etched into my skull as of late. Particularly last night, it was pretty bad for me. It was dark. I mean, it was very dark. Uh, Try to go back into my old habits again, but even in my state, God wouldn't let me do it. And I was grateful for that today because I would have woken up feeling worse. I think I'm gonna. I think I am gonna go back to church. And I'm gonna stop worrying about fitting in or being an outsider. I'm gonna stop coming at it for reasons why I shouldn't go. I do have friends down there, and I can't just walk away from all of that. Though a part of me wants to be honest with you, a part of me does want to, but I think that might be the was the avoidant aspect because as the new man is unfolded, a lot of that is unknown. I mean, I'm stepping into an era, so to speak, that is entirely new to me. It's entirely foreign. I don't know what to expect, and it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. Whereas the safety was, it was like miserable, but you're safe. Like you can expect the misery. That's why they're saying like misery loves company. That's a true statement. You can find that out for yourself, and you can find that out for other people, friends, family, foe, whatever. When they're miserable, they wanna, they kind of wanna spread that misery almost. And obviously, there's no condemnation here. I was kind of like that last night. I didn't want to spread the misery, but I was despondent. I mean, I went to the fair, and I don't know why I even went. I guess I wanted something to do. I probably should have stayed home and studied actually, but I went and I had a terrible time. Honestly, I didn't ride any of the rides. I was completely overstimulated. There were people everywhere. I guess it was a good way to get my steps in. I did get a cool T-shirt. I did get it cost some money, but it's a cool T-shirt. I'm gonna be wearing that. So that was cool. Tried a shish kebab, like a chicken kebab. That was good. But man, I don't know if anybody else can relate, but when I get in those black moods of mine, so to speak, it almost goes beyond depression. It's just total despondency. Like I don't even want to speak. I I seriously I almost go completely nonverbal. I talk as little as possible. I just it was heavy. It was weighing down on me heavy, and not even the girls could cheer me up. There were a lot of pretty girls there. Let me tell you something. It's a fair. Come on, like, y'all already know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of pretty girls there. And not even they could cheer me up. That's how despondent I was. That's how you know it's bad. And then I got home, and it was just mental anguish, man. I try to numb the pain, doesn't work. And I think God does that to me intentionally because He's like, you have to face the pain. You have to face it. You keep running from it. It's only making it worse. You try to go back to your old ways, but you can't do that. The old man is dead. He's dying right now. You have to let him die, and then you become the new man completely. You're the new man right now, honestly. But you have to like really embrace that. You got to step into that. And that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do when your entire life you've done the exact opposite of that. And you can know you're making progress because the old identity, especially for me, is like rearing its ugly head, loud, kind of almost telling me all the stuff that I could be doing. FOMO in a sense. maybe I do feel like I'm missing out. I mean, who doesn't want to party and hang out with pretty girls, right? Not that much of a. It's not that hard of a sell. To be completely honest with you, it's really not that hard of a sell at all. But there are things that I have to do. There are things that I have to accomplish. That's not to say I could never do those things, but I can't. I can't do them at the cost of my purpose. I can't forego what I should be doing for what I want to be doing. And I don't even really want to be doing that. I just think I'm missing out. I think a good time would help me out maybe. It's good to talk about it though, even if it's just to a inanimate object. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the camera because it was dark last night. It was dark, but I did learn something though. I learned that God's not going to let me off easy. That was made abundantly clear to me. There's a path that you need to walk. You're going to walk that path. You may not want to walk that path. You may feel like you should deviate from that path. You may try to deviate from that path at times. But ultimately, you will walk that path. That's just the way it is. It's time away. Because I left the church for like, I think it was 6 weeks. I think I was gone for 6 weeks. Stopped serving and all that stuff. I feel like that was necessary. I feel like I had to go through this almost destructive cycle of old and then back again and then old and back again to actually see the trajectory that I'm on right now. I've accomplished a lot, and I've accomplished a lot in terms of what I hold what I hold as valuable to me. Not necessarily really what society values. I mean, some of that maybe, but most of what I've considered to be accomplishments are from me, are from doing what I believe I should be doing. You know, exploring my talents. For a long time, I thought I needed some sort of reward to do that. I needed some sort of gratification. I needed a girl by my side. I needed a girl to love me. Right? That's a whole different set of issues right there. You know you got work to do on that one. And it was a lot of inner work. I thought I needed I thought I needed a reward to know that I did a good job. Basically, when you're playing on a sports team and they give you basically a participation trophy, they give it to literally everyone, and you're like, okay, like in your head as a kid, you're like, yeah, I got a trophy, like I did a good job. Then looking back on it, you're like, wait, technically speaking, everybody got a trophy. So I don't know. I mean, maybe everybody did a good job. Yeah, that's true. That's one way to look at it. Maybe everybody did a good job. But I'll tell you, man, that that sobered me up last night. I was crying out. My soul was crying out. I didn't know why I was in so much pain. I didn't know why I had to experience all this pain. The reason I had to experience all the pain was because I kept running from it. The answer was staring me directly in the face. And this morning, I prayed to God. I prayed to the Father that I would be able to have the strength to endure facing this pain, to actually look at it and to not let it consume me. I prayed that I would be given the strength to become the man that I need to become. I'm already there. I know I'm already there. I just need to really internalize that and remember it when contrary evidence, which is just the old story, is brought back to me. As I keep mentioning, as it has been mentioned probably time immemorial at this point, this world, your world, your perception, is a mirror, really, of how you view yourself. And if you're like me, trying to step into the new identity, trying to become a new creation, well, then what do you think is going to happen? I mean, unfortunately, the old creation isn't just going to go away quietly. It's going to assert itself. It's going to show its power. Right? It shows its power by demonstrating the hold it has over you. So, I'll give you an example here. If you feel like you can't connect with people, then when you're in new situations, you're going to be experiencing most likely a feeling of alienation of some sort, maybe of even social anxiety. That was the old story. That was the story you told yourself. You told yourself. That was the story that I told myself. So if the new identity is like, you know what, maybe I did used to have feelings of alienation, but I'm gonna try to go into this situation and give it the benefit of the doubt. There's no reason not to at least do that, and then hey, do what you got to do, right? Like when Jesus was sending out the disciples, and he gave them very specific instructions. He said, "You greet everybody with you that comes on the road, that you meet on the road, and that you meet in the households with peace." Okay, and if they won't have you, you simply shake the dust off of your sandals and you leave that place. He didn't say you engage with it. He said you see it. You say, okay, if that's the way it is, and you leave. But you come at it initially. You come at it initially with peace. At that point, that's their response. You might say, well, if everything's a mirror, then why wouldn't it always be peace? We're also interacting with different people. I'm not saying that other people don't exist. I'm not saying that you're the only one in creation. You're also interacting with other people and their beliefs and their mirrors, things like that. It's not as simple as we would sometimes like it to be. But the complexity, I believe, really adds to the richness, the layers of our own being. I think this suffering that I've gone through, and it's been profound. I'm not gonna lie. I've had what could be considered just straight up emotional. I don't know what it was, man. It was rough. It was rough. There's a lot of stuff that I suppressed that I know better now than to have to actually express it healthily. Is that a word? I think that's a word. Healthily and process it and move forward. This society has a lot of different variations on what a man should look like, but I think I'm going to take it from Jesus. I think I'm gonna take God's advice and go from there. Dark nights, dark nights, but you haven't been overcome by them. Not overcome, but you move through them. Right? The night's behind me now. This is the morning. At times it seems all we can do is just continue to live, continue to exist. and to face that pain. And don't be hard on yourself when you're facing it. Thankfully, I haven't done that, courtesy of the new identity. But I've wanted to escape. I have wanted to escape in more ways than one, almost in every way. That wouldn't solve anything either. Band aid on a bullet hole, still gonna bleed out. Don't do that. Sit in the fire, burns away all the imperfections. God won't let you burn them. Don't worry about that. He'll be right next to you. He'll be giving you the because the thing is when we pray to God, all that is revealed is the strength that was inside of us the entire time. But we finally had the courage to say, you know what? I need God to show me. I need God to point it out to me. Because this is not sustainable. I cannot do this. God answers his prayer out of faith, out of love, out of reverence. He shows us the strength that we have always had. And then not only can we bear that pain, we can be transformed by it for the better. For the better. Become the men and the women that God put us on this earth to be. That is that's a laborious process. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, I don't sugarcoat anything on this channel. There's no point. I would be doing myself and all of you a disservice. Might as well just keep it real, right? When we make that prayer, and it is answered by all means, believe that it is answered. We have to be willing to step out into the unknown, to step out in with faith, step out with faith. Excuse me, and walk and walk. Don't let the pain override the light and the energy that is you. Don't let it do that. We've come a long way, brothers and sisters. We've come a long, winding, tumultuous way. And yet here we stand. And yet here we remain. God bless each and every one of you. Let the pain sculpt you into the creation that God made you to be. And always, always, through all the suffering, all the turmoil, all the noise of the old identity, always remember who it is that you really are. And you move accordingly and faithfully to that.